Hello, welcome to the Book Fix podcast, formerly known as Story and Things, a podcast where we fix lives one book at a time. Thank you very much. I am your host, Cheli.
And I'm your host, Yajaira. Or Yajaira. Whatever floats your boat, honestly.
Yajaira,
I don't know.
Yajaira.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned, like, this is something that I have to go through every single day of my life, where I'm meeting someone or whatever, and they'll be like, oh, what's your name? And I'll say, oh, it's Yajaira, because, I'll say it, the way my mother meant for it to be said.
Yeah.
And if they are apprehensive, or if they look at me like, I'm sorry, what? I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, Yajaira. Whatever you prefer.
It's crazy because when I talk about you at work, because you're, the main point of my conversation all the time at work.
I knew it.
I always say your name like Yajaira. Like I say it the way God intended.
Oh my God, you do?
Yeah, because I don't know. It just feels right. But then when I'm with you, I call you Yajaira.
Because it just feels like tiny, meek. Loving. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I actually don't know.
No, because I don't know. Because you call me Cheli or Cheli.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say it.
I call you Cheli.
Cheli.
I call you Chili, actually, because that's on my phone autocorrects your name too.
Really? Mine can pronounce your name. Actually, yeah, I don't know if mine can pronounce your name because I don't have you as that.
I don't have you as that either.
What do you have me as?
I still have you under Yobo. Because we did that like a long time ago and I never changed it.
That's so sweet of you. Did I ever tell you? Because I used to have you under that too. And my sister used to think we were dating.
Really? And what about it?
I know. It's like, wait, we were? Oh, I mean,
I thought we were.
No.
You know what's so funny? Now that you're saying that, can I confess something to you really quickly?
Yes.
So my mom sometimes calls you my girlfriend. Like, she'll be like, if she tells someone that I'm going to see you, she'll be like, oh, she's just visiting her girlfriend.
Dude, oh my God.
And then I don't even remember how she said it, but the last time that I went to go see you, I don't remember. No, I think I said that I was going to go see you the weekend of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And she was like, my God, why don't you marry her already? I was like, I mean, damn.
Oh my God, wait, Mom, don't tempt me.
Mom, is this your blessing? Wait.
Dude, that kind of reminds me of that one TikTok that's like these two girls and they're both best friends. And one of them's like, okay, here's our plan. We go to my parents' house and we tell them that we're moving to Oregon. And we also convince them that we're lesbians. There's really no point in that, but I would just think that it's really funny. And we convince them that we're together. And then the other friend's like, scratch that. Love the plan. But what if we were lesbian?
I think I have seen that. That's so cute. That could be us. That could literally be us. We're going to Oregon now.
Oh my gosh.
But
that's so funny.
But that's how close. That's how close we are, right? Like that. People are like, oh, hold on.
I think now is a good time to say that. Sometimes I don't know why I come off as mean on the podcast because we're actually really close.
What do you mean? What did you say to me?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I make jokes and I'm like, the jokes I make where it's like, oh, we don't talk after the podcast. When the camera turns off, we turn off. Like,
I'm just out the door already. She kicked me out.
We've known each other for a decade, dude.
Yeah, a whole ass decade. I can't say that for anybody else. That's crazy.
Oh, God. It's crazy. More to come. Can't wait for our second decade when we're still the same age.
Oh, we don't age, actually. We're vampires.
Yeah. I'm Benjamin Buttoning this. I'm going to be a freaking fetus.
Ew. Ugh. Gross.
You wouldn't be friends with me if I was a fetus.
Girl, I was looking
I'm allergic to feti.
I don't know if the listeners know this, but I'm in an ultrasound class. So all I'm looking at right now are fetuses. Please don't do this to me.
I don't know if the podcast knows this, but I look at fetus.
What?
I was going to say, I look at fetus times 12. That's what I'm fucking dealing with.
What?
Times 12 years in age. Times 12 years in age.
Oh, I thought you meant times 12 as in 12 fetuses.
It's like, why are all 12 of them in front of you?
It's so weird.
I fucking wish there were only 12 of them. But here we
anyway,
are.
she's a teacher, if you were wondering. They're probably confused by that.
Thank you. I love my job. But I also love this podcast, which is why it's so great that we're doing this on a Thursday now. I think that it would be nice for us to experiment with posting 2 a week now that we've gotten comfortable posting remotely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, although I do miss you, but I feel like this is going to be like convenient for the both of us. That way we don't have to worry about having to set up everything and you having to feed me or whatever.
Not to add fuel to like your mom calling me your girlfriend, but distance makes the heart fonder.
What are you trying to say? You need a distance between us?
No, I think it's kind of beautiful.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
We didn't mention it in the last podcast, but we still have our social media, but because Story and Things is now resting 6 feet underground, we did rename all of our social medias. And I'm only going to promote TikTok right now because that's the one we're the most active on. But please visit our TikToks because Yajaira and I are trying so hard to be as active as fucking possible on social media. And honestly, I think we're doing a good ass job.
Yeah, considering both of our busy ass schedules, I think we're doing great.
So if you want to follow us on TikTok, become our friends, watch our videos. I think we're pretty funny together. It's at The Book Fix on TikTok, at THEBOOKFIX. Thank you.
And Instagram is the same, but at the end we have pod. So THEBOOKFIXPOD. The same thing.
The Book Fix pod. Yeah, that. So please, because we are out there working our ass off.
9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Not really, but yeah.
But I mean, I was going to say happy, but I feel like I want to say orgullosa.
Oh my God.
this week, like it's tapped into my sangre, dude. And to whoever's watching
We're going
this,
back to the roots.
mi gente. Like, I'm so excited to talk about our current book, which is The Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas.
And he wrote The Cemetery Boys, which we haven't read yet, but our mutual friend Melissa, she told me, I don't know if she told you, but she was like, I think you would really like it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We're here. And I don't know if we're allowed to be bilingual, but it is our podcast.
So
creo que debemos hacer lo que le da la gana. So like,
are you going to translate that?
In a nice way, it means I'll do what I want.
Pretty much, yeah. Yes. So let's just make it known right now. If we say things in Spanish, don't worry about it. It's fine. You'll get it. You'll catch on.
Yeah. And also context clues that shit.
Literally. Okay, so normally we start off our episodes by doing a quick summary, which, doesn't contain many spoilers. But this time I decided to make it a little bit longer because I want to get like the gist of this world that Aiden Thomas created. And it's still not really spoilers though, because all of this information is in the first like 2 chapters. So in this story, Sol is the creator of this world. And after creating things like the mountains, the oceans, the rivers, they created tierra, which translates to land. And together, Sol and Tierra created a race of godly children. But unfortunately, they were as vain as they were powerful, and they're known as the Golds. So they tried again, and they created Jades, which were kind, but a little too focused on finding ways to channel their powers. And so Tierra and Sol tried again. And they created the Obsidians, which they were passionate but selfish. They were more interested in destroying their home rather than building it. So tired of creating gods, Soul went down into earth and planted their heart beneath the ground, which then created the humans. And due to their like short existence, you know, their short lifespans, humans held more compassion and empathy, and they loved more fiercely than all of the gods combined. So Soul tasked the gods to care for the humans, but each wanted to do so differently. So of course it created a little bit of tension. So Soul created this like 7-pointed star made out of clay.
And then they basically broke the star, and it was like parts of power, and every one of their children had to collect the parts that like they wanted. And I know that Jade collected the ones that were most precious, Gold collected the ones that were most valuable, and Obsidian collected and hid it super deep into the earth.
Yeah, and they pretty much like collected like the dust.
Yeah.
The Obsidians were low-key jealous of Soul's love for humanity, so they stole Soul's heart, which the heart was what warmed the earth. And in order to save humanity, Soul drove a dagger into their own chest. And when the last drop of blood drained from from their own body, they reappeared on the sky as a brilliant star. As the sun, Soul was able to trap the Obsidians in a celestial binding, but they were really only able to do this during the day. So Tierra created soul stones that would remain ignited for a decade, and they would keep the Obsidians from escaping their prisons. With every decade, there are Sunbearer Trials, where a group of 10 semidioses, mainly golds, are picked by Soul, and they must compete in a set of trials, and the loser will be killed by the winner in order to emulate the sacrifice that Soul made, and this will keep the soul stones ignited. So our main character, Theo, isn't really worried about it because he's a Jade, and Jades aren't really picked to partake in these trials. So imagine his surprise when he isn't the only Jade Soul chose for this year's Sunbearer Trials.
Yes.
And there you go. That's pretty much my summary, because I just wanted to introduce the world mainly and just a little bit of the tension that Theo is going through.
Yes. And just to like kind of re-mention it, because there's different types of people, the golds, the obsidians, the jades, and the mortals, there is a lot of tension in everyday life. So even though our main character, Theo, is a jade and is a semidios, jades are considered a little lower. So Theo is more so like a mortal than the golds are, which the gold are kind of treated like hella celebrities. Like they are above everyone else.
And
so,
they live
there's a lot
away
of
from the mortals too.
There's a lot of tension in this book. But I do recommend, because that's just like the tip of the iceberg, go read this book before you listen to our podcast, because we are going to spoil the hell out of this book.
Yeah, we're gonna hella spoil. And honestly, this is the type of book that I would say you should read it, because like there is a twist that wouldn't be so twisty if you already knew what happens.
Yes.
Pretty much. And I would recommend this book if you enjoyed, I don't know, like the Percy Jackson series, if you enjoyed Hunger Games, like if you enjoy like those types of stories, then I would definitely recommend this one. And this one is a fantasy, and it does have LGBTQIA+.
The jokes. And we can talk more about it as we go along. Yeah. But you can tell by the type of writing, like who the audience is, you know? Yeah.
Go ahead.
But before we start, Yajaira and I always try to guess each other's ratings of the book, because we don't tell each other how we feel about it. It's funny because I had a question about the ending, and Yajaira was like, I'm not telling you how I feel. But
no, because I called her and she was like, I have questions about this book before we start. And I was like, well, I'm not going to tell you how I feel about it, so don't ask.
But I would like for you to make the guess first.
You want me to guess first? Okay, fun. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if Cheli explained it. We don't tell each other? Did you say that already?
Yes, I already did.
I like blanked out for a second. Okay.
Sorry, I blank out when you talk, but
no, I don't. Shut up. Let me guess. So okay. Confessions. session. We were supposed to talk about another book, and I decided to talk about this book instead because I read the summary and I was like, oh my God, I feel like Cheli would love this book because, you know, I know how much you love
Is that why you did it?
Yeah, because I was like, oh my God, I know how much she loves Percy Jackson. I feel like this is up her alley. I had no idea what this book was really about. Like, I just kind of knew it, like, you know, based on the surface. So when I looked into it, I was like, this would be a really good fantasy for us to talk about. And plus, you know, it has Mexican culture in it. So I thought you would really like this book. I'm a little nervous to hear what you think about it, but I'm going to say that my guess was correct. I feel like you would give this I don't know how much you love YA books, but I still think you enjoyed it overall because of Theo's character and the love story, like the romance. And I think like the trials, you probably enjoyed that too. So I'm going to guess that you gave it a 5.
Whoa.
Oh my God, I'm nervous. Don't look at me.
Okay, I won't look at you. Okay, I think that you also love this book. I think that you appreciate just like the Latina vibes because I don't know if our viewers, our listeners know this. Both of you and I are gente who are represented in this book. So
somos gente. So true.
Yeah. I don't know what you consider yourself. Like, I don't know if you call yourself Chicana. But I call myself that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, very good representation. So I think you think this book is good. But I don't know if you liked certain aspects with the writing. So I think it's not even the story or the characters. I think you had an issue with the writing. And I don't know if it bothered you enough to like, you know, lower your rating by a lot, but I'm going to play it. I was going to play it safe, but no, today's all about danger.
We're living life on the edge.
I'm going to say you gave it a 4 out of 5. So our main character is Theo. He is the son of una diosa. Sorry for my
Una
Spanish.
diosa. Her name is Quetzal.
Yeah, and she is the goddess of the birds. And it's just the birds, right? No birds. Other animal? Okay.
Just birds.
And love that about her, by the way. Wait. Off tangent. Love that about her because it reminded me of my Animal Crossing world, Bird Nation. Thank you.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. So you love Quetzal.
Yeah, I do love Quetzal. And Theo is a very interesting character because Theo was born a jade, born more mortal than others, at least, you know, always grouped with mortals because even though they are semidioses, Theo is an example of someone who, even though they're semidioses, they still have to go to normal school. They still have to experience normal life and don't really get the luxury that the golds get being semidioses. Yeah, and we like see... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And we see kind of this hatred and frustration that Theo had towards the golds right at the very beginning because Theo and Theo's birds are like fucking vandalizing pictures of these golds.
Yeah. Because they're
fucking love it.
Treated as celebrities, like Cheli said. So a lot of the humans around this, what is it called? Reino del Sol. They're kind of like placing bets on which of the golds, the semidioses that are golds, are going to be picked to be in the Sunbearer Trials because it's a big deal. So everyone knows about it. And so there's a whole bunch of posters of these like semidioses, and these are the ones that they think are going to do it because also their stats, because they're celebrities, their stats are public. So everybody knows like, oh, this one's really good at their strength. This one's more strategy. So everyone knows what everyone's good at. So that's how they can like assume like, oh, who would be the best sun bearer for the year, for the decade, I mean.
Yeah. And like I said, I I really enjoy Dale's character at the beginning of the story because Dale fucking hates it and does not put up with it. And you can tell the type of person.
I don't
go
think
ahead.
he hates it. I don't know if he hates it. I feel like he's just more like frustrated.
Fed up. Yeah, it is. It is just frustration because Dale doesn't think the Golds deserve to be that like up on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I also really liked that moment in the beginning when there's like a fire that breaks out in his place, or like in like his place, like his like, because every Dios has their own like, I don't know if you would say like their own reino, their own little like temple area, their own. No, literally, some of them did, like, they were described as a barrio. It was so funny. But, so, like, in his, like, you know, bird area, there was a fire that broke out. And obviously, he was like, I'm not a gold. I shouldn't, like, bust in there and save people. But he felt compelled to because he knew that there was someone inside. And so he went in there. But as he was, like, trying to save this person, the golds show up because they always show up when there's, like, you know, shit going wrong. And in this moment, you also can tell that he also feels this animosity or this like anger or whatever, frustration, because an old friend is a gold that he no longer talks to.
Mm-hmm. In Theo, we see this, like, even as Theo's character continues and they do get into the Sunbearer Trials and they do experience having to be kind of treated like a gold in a weird way, not like in the way where they're respected, but gets to see what golds grew up with. We see in our character Theo that they remain very true to themselves. Like, if they want a certain thing a certain way, that's how they stick with it.
Because this is a very public event, so Theo was going, because also one of his closest friend is a gold, which crazy, right? But like, she's different though. She's not all about that celebrity life. So
yeah, she's a gold, but she's vibing.
Yeah, she's a cool gold, not a regular one. And so he is so worried that she's going to be picked to be in the Sunbearer Trials. So he's not even thinking like, oh my God, I should worry about myself. So he's like anxious when he realizes that she gets picked and he gets picked, but he's also worried that another Jade gets picked because this Jade is like 13 years old. So he takes it on himself to like pretty much like protect this 13-year-old. And even as the trials go on, which maybe we'll talk about him a little bit later, but he doesn't really even care about winning. It's more about like, oh, I just want to make sure that this 13-year-old doesn't get in last place or else he'll be the sacrifice, right?
Overall, though, I think Theo's character is really good. A very good main character. And just want to mention that it is LGBTQ representation because Theo is a trans man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I love Theo so much. So much. What about you? Do you love Theo?
Yeah,
this is actually going to say a lot about our friendship.
Oh my God, shut up. No, I really did love Theo. I was so, like, when he was introduced in that whole moment with the fire and everything, like, and not even just that, but also how he would react with the priest, Huemek.
Yes.
How he was with Huemek, because he was late, obviously, and so Huemek was like looking at a telescope and he's like looking at the planets and he's like, they're telling me you're late, and he's like, you needed a telescope to tell you that. Like, I just think he's so funny. Like, I love him so much, and I love that even throughout like the story and like all of like the trials and everything that was happening, he was so like, he was just a good person. Yeah. And that's what I really liked about him.
Who do you want to talk about next?
God, there's just so many. I mean, we can briefly talk about the like other characters. Yeah, we could talk about Nia. So Nia is daughter of Tierra, which is the god of earth, and she is like this buff, really, really strong semidios, and she's just like the fun friend. Like, I think that this story plays in a lot of like oh, if you have a lot of muscles, you're lacking in brain cells, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like it's one or the other, you know, pick one. Pick one.
It's so funny too because there's like this one part where Nia's talking to Theo and it's like you're like 25% human, 25% jade, and 25% bird. And then Theo was like, or not Theo, Shio was like, what happened to the other 25%? It's like, oh, don't bring that up. She's bad at math. It's like, yeah, that's one of my insecurities.
I do remember that part. That part was so funny. And I love how there was a moment where she relied on Theo to come up with the plan. And he was like, when did I become the plan person? And she's like, because you're the plan guy. Come on. And then like she says, come on, you're the brains to my brawn. I just love that they're so like perfect together because, you know, obviously she's the strength and Theo is not. He's brains pretty much.
But to add to that too, they do kind of bring in a third friend into their group, and it's the other Jade that was picked for the Sunbearer trial.
Yeah, the 13-year-old.
Yeah, Shio?
Yeah, Shio is a 13-year-old and he seems very anxious. He's just always very nervous because obviously he should not have been picked. Well, you know, because most of the time it's the golds that are picked. So it's like very weird that 2 jades are picked in this set of trials. He's the son of Mala Suerte, which is the dios of bad luck.
What a fucking dad to have. It's like, I mean, my dad is Timoteo. Who's your dad? It's like, oh, fucking bad luck.
I know. Don't fucking look at me because I will fucking make a rain cloud appear on top of your head right now. I don't know. What is bad luck? Like, that could literally mean anything. Like, literally anything could be. Oh, I remember. Okay, to give you guys an example, one of the things was when, because Shio is also trans, so he's, at the moment, because there was a moment where he wasn't really sure what he was, you know, Shio wasn't really sure where he, like, fit in, like if he was male or non-binary. So at the moment he is male, I guess. And there was a moment that is revealed where he would be picked on a lot, and all of the people who picked on him got lice the next day. So I feel like that's a really good example of him being the son of bad luck.
I fucking love that. I love that. But it sucks too because so much of what this character goes through, because by the way, that trio with Shio, fucking love them. I fucking love them. And it made me so sad because Nia and Theo, they were on it. You know, they were in it to win it, and they were doing so well. And it always seemed like Shio got left behind, not because they wanted to, but it's literally just the bad luck.
Yeah, that, and also sometimes in the trials, like they couldn't all stay together. Like it was near impossible. So they had to leave him behind, even though they really didn't want to. Like they wanted him to at least be in the middle realm, because after every trial they would be graded, and whoever remains on the last one would be the sacrifice pretty much. And it's so weird because even though he's the son of Mala Suerte, he also seemed like he had a lot of like bad luck. And you would think it would be the other way around. Like he would just be giving it and not having it.
But he did say at the beginning, like, my only power is bad luck.
Yeah, well, that and also he was also kind of like, I don't really know what my power or what my ability is. I don't really know what it is.
I love Shio so much.
I loved him too, especially because he's only 13. So I didn't mention it, but anyone between 13 and 20 or 18?
Yeah.
13 and 18, I think, can be picked to be Dale? In the trial. Pretty much everyone is 17.
Okay.
Almost everyone, anyway. Now we're going through, you know, who's in these trials, right? So the next person that we could talk about would be Chochi, which is the daughter of Primavera, which is the daughter of spring. She is obviously a gold, and she's like a very like renowned gold, and she grows flowers, you know, anything with like, you know, spring is basically her. Like she's like sprouting vines and all that shit.
Yeah.
So she's also in the trials. Who else is in the trials?
Desi?
Yeah, Desi is in it, and Desi is son of Amor, which is the goddess of love. And he's deaf. So I really liked how in the book, a lot of the things that they were saying, like they would mention, like, oh, they had to sign it as well for Desi.
Mm-hmm. I really like Desi. Out of all like the side characters, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Desi was so like precious. I also really liked what was his name? Marino?
Mariano?
Oh, Mariano. Yes. Yes, I really liked him too. Which he's the son of Agua, so the goddess of water. The other smaller, I guess, side character would be Atsi, which is the daughter of Tormentoso, so the god of the weather, pretty much.
Yes.
Actually, I think she's the youngest one, so she's also the same age as Shio, but she's younger than him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh.
So I think it's really cool though, because her moments in the book where she would just be fucking like pulling out rain clouds and lightning and shit. I was like, oh my God, I love this girl. I wish that this gets turned into a movie so I could see all of these moments.
Yeah, dude, it felt very like well explained. And it's so funny because it's been so long since I've read The Hunger Games, and it's a weird thing to bring up, but they're very similar. And I kind of miss reading books like this.
Yeah, it's so fun, huh? Like just to see people competing over whatever the fuck. I really liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Who else is a side character that I haven't mentioned? Oh, the bad one. You could mention the kind of a baddie, kind of a villain, kind of a misunderstood one.
Who are you talking about?
Ocello. You don't remember Ocello? The child of Guerrero? What, like he's the
the one that yes. I'm sorry, I was gone, now I'm here.
He's the one with the cats, pretty much. He's the jaguar.
Yes, I do remember.
He is pretty much a freaking force, man. He is the force, actually. No one messed with him. He's kind of like, he's very like confident. He's like ruthless. He would be, I guess, more of the villain, but you know, they're all competing for this, so I guess it doesn't really count, but
yes. That's basically all of our golds though.
Yes, those are all of our golds and our jades. But the last one that I think would tie in more with, like, I guess the bigger part of this story would be the children of Lumbre, which is the twins. So Aurelio and Auristela, which we already.
First of all, A+ names.
I know. I freaking love their names. Literally, like. I'm obsessed with their names. They're so pretty. So we already mentioned Aurelio a little bit, I think, anyway. So he's the one who used to be friends with Theo, and they kind of like grew apart. Now he's a gold, so he's too famous. He's too famous for a jade.
They grew apart because he was a gold, right? Like he was taken to where the golds have to go, which is like a special school.
Yeah, and so Aurelio and Auristela pretty much were raised by their mortal dad, which is how he was able to be friends with Theo. But once they reached the age, which I'm assuming it's like probably 12 or 13 or around there, the mother, which is Diosa Lumbre, which is the goddess of fire, she pretty much took them and integrated them into the Gold's world. And Diosa Lumbre is pretty much like, she's the most ruthless god there. Like, she is so mean. She's so like, I don't know, like she just wants them to all to be separated. She doesn't want them to be integrated with the Jades. And so because of how she is, and you know, her high expectations for both of her kids, that's why Aurelio acts the way that he does. Like, he just wants to pretty much make his mom proud in a way. But that's how they grew apart, because of the mom.
I really like those types of characters that are very aware of their image, because Aurelio is often said to be very like a placid face. And when when cameras are around, the very picture perfect smile. And,
yeah, he's always on. Like if there's a camera, he's just able to pretend, right? He fakes it until he makes it.
And it's funny because there's even moments where like the character does out of character things, but when they're going to, they're like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we're supposed to stay here on the boat. Why are we leaving the boat? And it's like, you don't have to follow all the rules.
Yeah, but I really like how Aurelio just always like kind of knows what to do. Like, obviously we're not in his point of view, right? Like we're more in Theo's point of view. But there were moments when Theo was just like, what the fuck do I do now? And he looks over and Aurelio's just like figuring shit out. Like he just knows what to do.
I know. And it's funny because we have this very calm character, cool, collected, always viewed as being like an asshole, but they're just like that.
Or they're just serious.
Like, yeah, but very polar opposite to Auristela. Because she's mean.
She is just as ruthless as Ocello is, if not a little bit more. So Auristela is here for the game. Like she is so confident. She's so proud of herself because in one of the trials she gets first place and she can't even contain herself, which is really like out of character from the other characters' point of views. So they're just like, oh my god, okay, we get it, Auristela, you won, I guess. But yeah, she is really mean. She obviously thinks she's better than the Jades. Like she just makes them feel like they're just collateral damage. She's just like, you guys are the obvious sacrifice. Like you might as well just get used to it. Like get ready for it pretty much.
Yeah.
And throughout the story, there's also a lot of moments where Auristela will say things to Aurelio like, see, I told you he was using you. See, I told you that he doesn't, like trying to make it seem like Theo doesn't actually care for Aurelio, because I don't know, like she just probably can't imagine someone caring for her brother the way that she does.
Yeah, and it sucks too because like at the beginning of the book, you view Auristela like very just, I guess, bitchy. Like like I can't think of another word except for that. But like it's revealed like throughout both of these characters, like their growth. Aurelio didn't have anyone else. And the twins didn't have anyone else. They were born into this fame and they had to act the part, meaning that they could never really have a normal childhood, normal friends. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't even have candy. Like it was,
it's
so
very
much
controlled.
was taken away from them. Yeah. And knowing that, because I knew, I don't know if you know this about me, but I fucking love Aurelio.
I love him too.
Yeah, but I think knowing their upbringing, I appreciate them a lot more.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Auristela did some fucked up shit. Like, just like she's just that bitch, you know what I mean? But I just really felt for her. There's this trial where they have to collect stones. And there's like this like soul stone, right? That'll give you the most points. And she's like so focused on getting it, but she's getting it for her brother, which I just feel like says so much about her character that even though she comes off as this really mean person, she really wants to do this for her brother. And we learn that the reason why she wants her brother to take this stone is so that their mother will actually like respect him, will actually like care for him, because the mom does care for Auristela, I guess in her own way, but with Aurelio, like she does not. She's just so mean to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like I just really appreciated Auristela's character after that reveal happened.
And I mean, that's all of our characters. And I think we could be here for fucking days talking about every chunk of this story.
Honestly. And I just want to say that the love story between Aurelio and Theo was so fucking cute. It was just one of those things where anytime something would happen between them, I was like, oh, fuck Yes. You know what? Give me the one bed trope. I need that shit. Where the fuck are all of my cliches that I'm always tired of? But you know what? All of a sudden, I need every single one of them. I need every single one of them right now.
Dude, I fucking loved that entire scene of them sneaking off the boat.
I know. It was so
fucking
cute.
Enjoying mazapanes together. And the limon y sal. And then he was like, what the fuck? Is this seawater?
I know. Aurelio was just like, what the fuck is this? And it was so cute because the whole reason they snuck out was because Theo wanted to get candy for Nia. So it wasn't even like for himself. Okay, maybe kind of for himself, but that's just like how his character is, that he's thinking about Nia, you know, like in her well-being. And so Aurelio went with him. And you know what I really loved too? Like after they did this whole trip, Aurelio bought candy. But not for himself. He bought candy for everyone else, like all of the contestants.
Yeah.
Because eventually they kind of become friends, kind of, sort of, a little bit.
Yes.
But yeah, that was really cute.
I fucking loved it. I think it's so cute. Aurelio just really cares about Theo like a lot. And it's super, super slow. And there's not really much that has happened in this book. But like... There's most likely, I don't know if the second book is out already or did this just came out, right?
Yeah, this just came out. Don't you remember when we had our Barnes and Nobles trip? We went to San Jose and I believe, wait, was it the San Jose one? I can't remember. But I think it was when we were at San Jose where I saw the book cover and I was like, oh my God, I really want to read this. Remember? The gold version?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I can definitely see, I mean, their relationship building in the future. But fuck, dude, this book, the ending.
Oh my God, dude, when the ending happened. Wait, can I just say, can we just, let's be honest for 1 second, okay? I need you to be honest with me, okay?
I'm a little nervous, okay.
Obviously, I feel like we both knew that the Sunbearer was going to be Theo. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes. Okay, great. Who did you think was going to be the sacrifice before the sacrifice was revealed?
I thought the sacrifice was going to be Shio.
So did I. I was so...
Did you think the same thing?
Yeah, because like near the end, like in the first couple of trials, like they were doing all right. But then near the end, Shio was just getting losses after losses after losses. Dude, I was like, oh my God, this boy. I fucking
felt so bad because I have the physical copy. So when I was reading it, there would be scenes where it was like, oh, Shio was standing with all the other Sunbearer contestants and they're all looking for their alebrijes. And then freaking Shio dropped it. And it's so embarrassing because everyone's standing there and I'm like, fuck, everyone's I feel just so bad for Shio.
Dude, I felt so bad for him too because he literally just had so much bad luck. And I don't know, like I thought that there would be more bad luck towards the other contestants, like more obvious bad luck. But I was like, damn, he's really just like failing because of his own abilities.
Yes. Before we talk about the ending though, I do want to say I am a little disappointed that no one died.
Oh my God. Here we go again. Girl, it's YA.
I know it is.
Do people die in YA?
Yes. Yes. People can die in YA. People die in real life. Like I think sorry. Spoiler.
Well, I mean, okay. Yes, they could die.
I just felt like the death of a character would have been very impactful. Whether it had been Shio or Nia. Nia would have been a good one. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like her, but Auristela, you know, could have been a good one. Well, I mean, who knows? I guess who knows now.
I can't with you, I swear. When did you become so heartless that you want a character to die?
I just think it would have been impactful because, like, if you think about the Hunger Games, characters died in that one, and it was very often.
But not in the first one.
Yes, in the first one. How'd they make it out? People had to die.
Lived, actually. Oh, sorry, that was just a fanfic. My bad.
Oops, Oops. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
That was a
away real
fanfic
quick.
I wrote, actually.
Don't out me. No, okay. In part, I do agree with you. Yes, the death of a character would be very impactful, especially because I grew to really care about most of these characters. But I don't know. Maybe it could happen in the second one. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I just wish it would have started strong. I don't know. You can't give me a freaking battle royale and not kill anyone. Like, what do you expect this is?
Not a battle royale, obviously. Before we talk about the ending, there was something happening during these trials. So these trials would happen, right? And at first it was all fun and games, whatever. But then Theo notices a little bit of blackness in these characters' eyes.
Oh, you're right.
What did you think was happening when that was happening? Because the characters were getting kind of like, I guess, corrupted in a way. So their emotions were very heightened. And so they would get really angry with each other and they would turn a little bit violent, which was out of character for all of them, except maybe Ocello.
Mm-hmm. I was under the impression that this was something that the Golds just experienced, because it was said by Aurelio that the Golds were raised for this fight. Like, they trained for this specifically. So I just thought that as a Jade, Theo was just seeing it happen and like, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with these guys? That's what I thought.
Really? Because I had this thought that maybe Soul's power was weakening at a faster rate, because the way that these characters were acting, like, I don't know if you remember when Auristela like freaking pinned down Theo's wings and she was like being super violent with him, and when she obviously snapped out of it and she seemed so confused. Like, she seemed surprised by her own actions. So there were like moments like that where I was like, oh my God, maybe the Obsidians are like somehow breaking from their binds already. Like, that's what I thought was happening. I thought that they were already like getting into, Reino del Sol. And that's why these characters were getting corrupted. But then there was this other thing that I was guessing. I was like, what if Soul's not like all good? Like, what if Soul's like, you know what? I just want some tea. I want some drama. I want to see.
Yeah, I'm actually real good. I just love watching these.
I know. I just want to see some drama. So that's what I had, like those two thoughts. I was like, maybe Soul's like not that nice. Maybe they just want to fuck some shit up. Can we blame them? They've been up there for how long?
Very long time. Damn.
But okay, so let's get to the ending now. So let me just set it up. So pretty much, surprise, Theo wins. He is the Sunbearer. And
the Jade hero.
Exactly. So who came in last? The one who would hurt the most. Auristela. Why would it hurt the most? Because Theo loves Aurelio. Aurelio loves Auristela. Obviously, Theo having to kill Auristela would be like the biggest heartbreak to Aurelio, because that's all that Aurelio has. Like, he loves his sister.
And it sucks too, because Aurelio kind of breaks his own character.
Yeah,
and he's just like, you knew that this was gonna happen. Why did you let this happen? And it's like, yes, I understand the frustration, but even Theo told you from the start that this is what the game is, and you knew that it was gonna be this, yet you're only reacting now when it affects you.
Yeah, because he was okay with it, because he thinks like, oh, this is a sacrifice for Soul, right? And he's very like law abiding, I guess, like you said before. So he's always following the rules. But I feel like he never really questioned it until this moment. Because also in the last trial, Theo, Auristela, and Chochi, and I can't remember, Desi and somebody else did not actually finish the trial. And Auristela was one of them who fell from, the finish line, or fell away from it or something. And Theo could have saved her. I was actually surprised that he didn't save her, but he could have saved her, but he was kind of like more preoccupied on Shio, that he saved Shio instead. And because of that, that's why they're assuming that Auristela got last instead of Shio. And so that's why Aurelio's also reacting, because he's like, you could have saved her, but you didn't, you know, because once you made it to the finish line, you can't go back. So he was already past that. Like he couldn't go back for her.
Yeah. It sucked. It hurt me so much.
Dude, the angst is so real in this moment. So then they're going to have this ceremony, right? Like, everyone's so excited. They're going to give him this special, like, dagger with souls, whatever on it. And he's going to kill her. He's going to put this dagger straight through her heart. And he's, like, about to do it. But he's like, you know what? All of a sudden, I don't feel like doing it. I was going to do it. But you know what? The sun just was not in the right place. And so everyone's there, but like all of the semidioses, all of their parents, like everyone is there. I think even the mortals are there, and he doesn't do it. So he's like about to like, okay, you know what? I'm going to run out of here, sprint. And then Shio shows up and he's like, oh, just hand me the dagger. Like, I'll take it. And like they're looking into each other's eyes, and like Theo was already like, you know what, he's gonna take the dagger, he's gonna run, and then I'm gonna run the other way or whatever. And then when Shio takes the dagger, his demeanor completely shifts.
Yeah.
Bro, before we go on, can I just tell you, I fucking love books that have betrayals. Oh my god, I eat that shit up. I'm just like,
I know.
I'm just like,
but I wish it could have been someone else.
Who? Nia?
No, it just hurt because Shio was so small.
He was so small. He was just a boy.
I know.
But
so wait, was that whole like bad luck thing just like for like shits? It's like whatever.
So that was never actually revealed yet. So let me just explain what happens at the end. So he takes the dagger, Shio, and he's looking at Theo funny. He's kind of like, oh, it's too late, because at that moment, Soul's light goes out and that, okay, it's done. You know, their time ran out. And so pretty much Shio tells him like, oh, like they're coming. And so then you see these like fucking black ink or smoke or whatever it is, like seeping in, and the obsidians come out, which was Venganza, Caos, and Chupacabra. Yeah. And they are finally like revealed from the celestial binding, because Theo didn't make the sacrifice. Auristela is very much alive right now. And so then we realize that Shio must be somehow connected to the obsidians, but we don't get any answers yet, because Mala Suerte is nowhere to be found. Like, we do not see the Dios. Like, he's gone. And so the obsidians pretty much like create this like barrier around the semidioses, like the contestants, so the parents can't get involved in this moment. And there's this like black goo that forms on the ground, and it forms kind of like a portal or like an opening or like a black hole or whatever it is. And it starts sucking in the semidioses because they're trying to take all of them. But they pretty much do succeed. Like, they do take all of them. And it's really sad because Theo is trying to save Shio in this moment. Like, he's trying to grab him and stop him from going into the wormhole, because he's still thinks that that's his friend. But Shio's like, bro, get a grip. Like, come on. And so he manages to like, I don't know, like he doesn't want to let him go, but Shio ends up going into this black hole, and all of them go except Nia, Theo, and Aurelio. And Auristela is still like hanging on, but she pretty much like saves Aurelio from going into the hole by letting herself be like the sacrifice. And before she goes into this wormhole, she tells them to find us, and then she like disappears into this black hole. Yeah. Yep. I know. I was like, oh my God, this betrayal hit so hard, because Chio this whole time was so like small and meek, and I'm just so clumsy, and I just have all this bad luck, and I'm just like, oh, I ate that shit up. I was like, I really believed you were a little bunny. I really thought. You
And
were a
that
baby.
fucking friendship, I still think that trio was really good.
Yeah, no, it was. It was a really good trio. I really loved it. I thought that they made great friends, like all three of them. But now it's a new trio.
Yeah, fucking Aurelio, Nia, and Teo.
Yeah, so those are the ones who remained.
I'm excited. I'm so fucking excited. You know, if it weren't for the fact that I have a 9 to 5, I would have binged this book in a day.
Would you? Interesting.
I know,
believe
really
it.
interesting.
I believe it because, you know, you are just such a fast reader and you go through books actually really fast. So
Yeah, I don't know how I do it.
I don't either. But let me just say that the ending, pretty much our characters have to find the soul stones, or right? The soul stones.
Yes.
Like, I don't really know what they're going to do. I think they're trying to find a way to bring Soul back, or
Yes.
or somehow still commit this sacrifice while finding the other semidioses. I'm not entirely sure, but they're going on a quest, and that's how it ended, and I'm very excited for it. I thought that it was a really good, like, introduction to this world, and I have so many questions about Mala Suerte, though. Oh my god, maybe Mala Suerte and an Obsidian, like, had a little bit too much fun one night, and that's how Shio was born.
Who knows? But I really like this ending and this story.
Yeah, go ahead and tell me your overall thoughts, because I know I got you right.
Oh my god. Okay. I will say, like, everything that we've talked about, I loved the characters. I love the relationship. The character development between Aurelio and Teo is really, really cute. The freaking friendship between Teo and Shio, I think, is really good because we mentioned Teo is a transgender man and Shio is still trying to find whether they are considering themselves male or non-binary, and the conversations they have about that, I think, are really, really good. Love it. I don't know what it is though, like, reading books that have pop culture jokes, like, throws me off so much. And I don't know why, like, because I mean, I've read books like that before, but it always throws me off. Like when freaking Teo went into the sauna with Aurelio, and as soon as Teo came out, freaking Nia and Shio were like, what are you doing in there? What are you doing there? And then it's like, oh, you know, nothing. Don't worry about it. It's not a big issue. And then they make that freaking Vine reference, you know, the two bros in the hot tub. And I was like, whoa, this is like a relic.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It like throws me off so bad. And like, honestly, that kind of gave me, I don't want to say this because I fucking love the book. It kind of gave me the ick.
Really? I thought your problem was going to be the furry joke because, you know,
what's
obvious
wrong with
reasons.
furries?
No, nothing's wrong with them. I just thought you'd be like, whoa, too close to home.
Stop, dude. Dude, stop. Don't expose me like that. No,
God, I expose you every episode.
But like, it did throw me off. But I think overall, that still doesn't take away from how much of a strong book this was. I actually do see myself rereading this probably after we read our bulk read, because I mean, you know how I felt about, for example, I mean, not saying anything about my rating, but you know how I felt about Under the Whispering Door, where I kept rereading parts of it even after I read it.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about this one.
But that's how you are. You just want to stay. You just want to stay in this story.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I haven't reread Heartstopper in a while, so I think my hyperfixation is dying. But maybe it's going to start with Sunbearer Trials, because I am going to rate it a 5 out of 5.
Oh my god. See, look, I fucking knew it. I know you so well. You know those times when I say I don't know you? I'm lying. I know you so well. Cut to me in the next episode. Bitch, I don't fucking know you.
Bitch, who the fuck is this?
Who are you? Get out of my house. That's so funny that you say that though about pop culture, because I actually made a note because I didn't want to forget this because it happened near the beginning or like near the middle. One of my critiques was the way that they speak. Like they speak very modern sometimes, especially the golds who are supposed to be separate from, you know, the mortals and the jades. So
Yes.
there was a moment when Auristela says, fuck around and find out, and it threw me off. I was like, wait, what? Why did she say that? It threw me off. I was like, girl, you should not be saying that. And then there was a moment where Nia says, sucks to suck. And I was thrown off again because I was like, I feel like these characters, I know they're young, but damn.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Like, it's like how we talk.
I know. Why are they speaking like they're humans? They're not humans.
No, it is a lot. And okay, sorry, I know you're saying your overall thoughts, but also that scene where Thale was hiding in the tree and you know, they were trying to get Thale down and it was like, you need to come down. Thale was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm like fine up here. I can live up here. It's like the reaction is very like now.
Unexpected?
Yeah, or like yeah, like if a kid from now was put into that situation, that's how they would talk.
Oh my god. You just reminded me of the part where I think they were in the hot tub and Dale was like that he was thirsty with Aurelio. And he was like, not that kind of thirsty. I mean, what are the thirsty would there be? And Aurelio's just like, what? What are you talking about?
It was like thirsty, but like the hydrated version. And it's like, bitch, that's dehydrated. Dude, okay, wait. I'm sorry. And that other scene where like Theo was like, why do you always wear your hair like that, Aurelio? And it's like, oh, because, you know, it's part of like my culture. It's like a thing. And it's like, bitch, that's a man bun. Like, shut up.
I love it though. It's like it throws me off, but I also kind of love it because I feel like, okay, they're gods, but they're kind of relatable, I guess.
Yes, I agree.
The one thing that we didn't mention, but I think, you know, goes in with my overall thoughts, I really loved Aurelio's character 100%, 1000%. What I really felt for him, though, do you remember that part where it's revealed that he isn't fireproof?
Yeah.
And the fact that his own mother would literally burn him because he has like scarring in his like forearms, which is why he always wears those like gold bands to like kind of like cover them. And I just like love, I guess the characters, like I love the depth to them. I really loved him because obviously like Dale would bring it up, like, why are you always wearing your gold bands? You're such a loser. Like, he would always bring it up. And so when it's finally revealed that there is, like, an actual, like, reasoning to it, like, I just really loved that. And I really, like, appreciate the thought behind the characters. Because, like, there's other things, obviously, with, like, the other characters. But that was just, like, the one thing that I really, really appreciated. One of the other things that I really appreciated was the Mexican culture that was integrated into the story. Because, obviously, well, at least I haven't. I haven't seen anything like it before. And I just felt seen. I felt like...
And it's funny because... I'm sorry. We read Spanish Love Deception, and it was supposed to kind of be like a parody of like telenovelas, which is obviously something that we grew up with. And I didn't feel seen then, but I feel fucking seen now.
No, seriously. I just feel like Aiden Thomas wrote this for us, the girlies. Yeah. And I just really appreciate it. Like, I love how much I could relate to everything that was happening. And it also, I don't know if you thought the same thing, but it also made me think like, because there's not like any explanations, like things are just this, and look it up if you need to, I guess. I wonder if people who didn't grow up in our culture or have different cultures, I wonder if it would make it difficult to relate, I guess.
Maybe, because that whole like candy scene, you have to know what the candy is to understand it.
Yeah, exactly. And why Theo is so excited about it.
I know. fucking part with the masapan where like freaking Aurelio couldn't open it and it kept breaking apart. I was like, this bitch never opened a masapan
in his fucking life, and he really didn't. But I'm really excited for the next book. I feel like I would hella pre-order it. I don't know if you know this, but there's actually cards of every character and their parent. Dude, they're the cutest fucking cards ever. I want them so bad. Like the trading cards.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious? Like,
dude,
I'm looking it up right now.
They're trading cards and they're so freaking cute. I want them so bad. It has their like strengths at the bottom right corner. Oh my god. Obsessed with that shit. I fucking love it. Anyway, my point is I love the characters. I love the plot. I love that I felt seen. So I would also give it a 5 out of 5.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah. I don't know what parts you're talking about with the writing. Are you talking about like the modern shit?
Yeah, the modern shit. I thought that would affect you more than...
I mean, it did a little bit, but I feel like the story is so good. I was like, okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna just look past that.
If the story had sucked, it would have hella had a lower rating. Because I feel like I've read stories that have that like modern type talk, and it just throws me off, and I don't like it.
Yeah. No, same. I don't know why though. Why are we trying to just escape completely? Is that why?
I don't know. I did talk about it with my sister today, and I was telling her about that. And she was like, yeah, it's a little weird because then it defeats the purpose of becoming a classic because you're going to read a story way in the future. Like maybe someone reads this 100 years from now and it gets to the two bros chilling in the hot tub. And it's like, why are they talking about two bros chilling in a hot tub? Like they're not going to understand it. And then I kind of understood where she was coming from. But then like there's a charm to it too. That makes it like very... I mean, we just went off on like talking about our favorite jokes. Like there is a charm to it, but it's just weird to get used to.
I think it is weird, but I feel like a lot of things can still be really popular even when it has things that you wouldn't necessarily understand unless you were in that like moment, you know what I mean? I mean, there's I'm sure there's nothing I can think of right now, but I'm sure there's plenty of things that have popped off that don't necessarily like you can't really like relate to anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree. I think it does have a charm to it, and I feel like people will have a blast figuring out what the hell they were talking about.
Dude, we weren't too much of bilingual queens this episode, but like...
Oh, we really weren't. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
But like, it's in there. I'm fucking so happy that we both gave this a 5 out of 5. We will definitely be texting a lot about this story. I can finally post TikToks about it.
No, yeah, dude, same. Me too. I was like, I'm not going to post anything because then she'll know. I know how you are. You're going to look at it.
But thank you so much for everyone listening to our episodes. If you are listening to us in audio form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on, thank you so much. If you can leave a review and a rating of 5 stars, because I mean, it helps our name get out there. And also just, you know, if you want to tell your friends, enemies, loved ones, hated ones, the ones who've betrayed you along the way, if you want to tell any of them about us, the best way to gain exposure is through word of mouth. So that would be great.
Yeah. And we would be more so recommended if you did give us 5 stars. So we really appreciate it. And we definitely appreciate the people that already have given us 5 stars. Like looking at it is just so, like, it really makes me feel grateful that people like listening to us.
Thank you. It does mean a lot. To everyone who is watching our video versions on YouTube, hi, thank you so much for watching. If you can like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell to get, and hit that notification bell in order for you to know when we are posting, which is usually Tuesdays and Thursdays. Sorry, it's been a little off, but we are trying to get back on track.
Yeah, and some of these won't have a video version though. Because aren't recording each other. Now. Yeah.
But we'll get used to it. We will learn what to do. But before we end our episode, we usually end with a dice roll. And for the dice roll, we if we have an even number, we will read a positive review off of Goodreads about this book. If we get an odd number, we will read a negative review off of Goodreads. And we do not say anything about these reviews. It is going to be in the air, and that's where it stays.
Yeah, because we're not talking about it. We're not endorsing it. We're just saying what someone else thinks about this story, whether that be positive or negative.
Yes. Do you want to go ahead and roll the die, and then I can look up a review?
Yeah. Okay. So I have a dice app on my phone. So let me just click it real fast. I got a 2.
This review is brought to you by Jana, who gave it a 5 out of 5. And she says, I'm happy to announce that I found my new favorite book. Wow, this was absolutely amazing. Theo is mischievous, he's a troublemaker, he can talk to birds, has wings, and he's a jade. That means he isn't allowed to attend the academy. It also means he isn't being trained for the Sunbearer Trials that happen every 10 years, like the Golds have been for a long time. It shouldn't matter because no jade has been chosen to compete for over 100 years. To everyone's surprise, this trial, there are 2 jade competitors. This book's intense. It's fast-paced and beautifully descriptive. It's got twists. It's full of enchanting mythology. It has Latino, Black, trans, and non-binary representation and a ton of likable, morally gray, and entertaining characters. I adore Theo as a protagonist. He's often funny and always a loyal friend. He's got this childhood best friend to enemies to something that's going on, and it's very amusing, yet sometimes quite devastating to read about. Please just know that this book really hits the Percy Jackson meets the Hunger Games description, though it is also so much more. You'll find lessons about friendship and complicated family stories. You'll find strong female characters and a society that celebrates trans people.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Dude, I'm in such a good mood.
Oh my God, I know. Me too. Even though oh my God, it's 11:11. Make a wish.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, no pressure or anything.
What's your wish? Wait, what's your wish? Now you gotta tell me, what was your wish?
I can't tell you. I can't reveal my secrets, or else it won't come true.
Oh my gosh. My wish was to be here with you.
Why would you wish something that's already coming true?
I don't want you to disappear.
Oh, I'm gonna get that.
Okay, that being said, note to self, next week we should definitely talk about our Goodreads Choice Awards of 2022.
What do you mean?
We have to choose for every, because I guess Goodreads has like votes that are happening right now, and it's for the best books of 2022 for certain categories.
Oh my God, we should do that.
Maybe that should be our Thursday episode for next week.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Yes. Let's do it right now. Go.
Okay, let's just film it right now. We're in the future now. Hello, welcome to we just like started off.
We have a beginning and then an end again.
We're in a never-ending loop. If this is on, we're still alive.
Quick, play the harp. Play the harp.